In today's video, I'm going to teach you guys how to actually get your songs played out by more big DJs. In 2019, I had one of my songs called Rave Tool that became widely supported by a lot of the big DJs out there, like Skrillex, DJ Snake. It's one of the absolute best promotional tools out there for your song. It can help it stream better, and it can change the trajectory of your career. So for those of you guys that don't know who I am, my name is Henry Fong. I've been a full-time electronic artist, DJ, and producer for about 15 years now. I tour all over the world. I have 2 billion streams. I've been lucky enough to work with some of the biggest electronic artists, like these guys. And I have some of the most widely supported songs on 1001 track lists. So in this video, I'm going to break down 3 of the most important tips that I've learned from my career that will help your songs get played out by bigger DJs. Now, there's not a lot of people teaching these kind of tactics online because a lot of this stuff is really hard to articulate. You guys might have seen on YouTube, there's a lot of people that are teaching the individual music production techniques. But what I'm gonna teach you guys in this video is more of the foundational theories of how to create songs that get played by more DJs. Now, these tips are gonna range from production tips all the way to marketing tips. So we're gonna cover everything, and it's gonna be important that you guys listen to all 3 of them because they all work together. This is one of the most important things that I'll ever teach. All big club songs played out have this one special thing about them, and I call it the moment. To me, the moment is about pulling things back and setting up the arrangement properly to create that epic feeling in a specific part of the song. And that's usually the part of the song that people connect with on the dance floor. Now, this is kind of the great paradox of dance music production because when you guys sit down and produce, a lot of people are focused so much on the drop, but really the moment usually happens before the drop, and it's usually how the drop's set up, and it's more about stripping things back. So to further expand on this, I'm going to show you guys 5 examples of songs that I've picked, and these songs are going to range from every era of dance music. There's going to be current hits, house classics from back in the day, to 2013 EDM bangers. With each of these examples, I've picked different parts of those songs, to me, that really define what the moment is. So in the first example, I'm going to play you guys one of the best all-time big room songs, in my opinion. And this song has one of the best moments in a dance music song, in my opinion. So the song is called Showtek Booyah. I'm sure a lot of you guys know the song. And to me, if we're looking at the arrangement of the song on Showtek Booyah, the moment really happens when the synth lead line's playing by itself. It's a really good melody, and it's a great lead sound, but I'll show you guys here what I'm talking about.
Everyone up in the club is down with this rocket.
That stripped back synth lead line playing by itself is what really creates the magic in the song, in my opinion. So obviously, if we fast forward to the drop absolutely slaps. You guys probably know what it sounds like, but that synth playing by itself is what really creates the epic feeling on the dance floor, in my opinion, on this song. So to me, that's an example of a moment that can be created with a synth lead line. So for the next example, I'm going to play you guys a house classic called Deep Inside. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this as one of the all-time classic house bangers. And the moment in this song is a little bit different from the one I just showed you. So for me, the moment in this song is more based on the vocal hook.
Deep inside, deep down inside, deep inside, deep down inside.
There's been so many variations and remix and edits of this song, but every time that song plays and it just goes only to the vocal and the claps, that to me creates the epic moment for the song. And you'll see through other parts of the song, everything gets stripped back, like this part here. And you'll notice right before the drop hits, the vocal sets it up. So you see it's kind of like the setup before. And yeah, to me, this is a completely different example, but the moment when the vocal plays all alone, I think is the key to this one. All right, another example here. I have Chris Lake and Raggy Band Toxic, which is probably one of the most club played songs this year. So I wanted to give you guys a current example as well too. So the moment in this song, is probably when the sample plays by itself. It samples the classic Poison. So you'll notice in the arrangement, the moment isn't about the drop in this song. So I'll play it for you guys so you guys can hear it and we can go over where the moment is.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Freeze in full effect. You ready, Ron? I'm ready.
If I were you, I'd take them.
All right, great tune. As you guys can hear on that, the drop is well done, but it's very minimal. And so a lot of the excitement when this song is played out live, it's not exactly at the drop. It happens before the drop, and it's all about that setup. So for me, the moment in this song is the 4 bars here where the sample plays with the vocal all by itself. And again, if this wasn't arranged like this, that drop wouldn't hit the same way it hits. So you guys got to, again, to reiterate, it's all about setting it up before the drop correctly. And again, things are very pulled back in that moment. It's only some drums and the vocal and the synth. So I'll play it for you one more time so you can hear it. So listen to the arrangement.
Full effect.
Leading up to it. Boom. There's the moment.
I'm ready.
All right. For my next example, I'm going to give you guys another current hit. This is probably one of the most viral played out songs of this year. And it's The Days Notion remix. So I'm sure a lot of you guys might be familiar with this one. So I'm going to go over the moment with this one and how they get the moment in this song. So to me, this one's definitely more arrangement based. And it's kind of all about that little fake out with the vocal hook right before the drop. So I'm going to play this one for you guys, starting in the build up, and then we'll go. When this song's played out, there's one part that everybody really, really lights up for and really sings. And, you know, it's the part right when the drop hits and it's a fake out. And it just only has a synth and it only has the vocal. So to me, that's the moment that really defines this song. And again, you'll notice it's not when everything's playing together in the drop. It's what happens before. So it's the setup. And also, too, a common theme across all of these songs is everything is stripped back. Everything is minimal, but those elements that are in the song are very well selected. Like in this song right here, it's an amazing vocal and the synth sound design is really well done on it. So to recap here, the moment can be a lot of different things in a song. Throughout all the examples I've given you, I've showed you guys examples of moments that are just with synths. I've showed you moments that are just with vocals. I've showed you moments that are with both. I've showed you moments that are just with only vocals. One important thing to take away here is it's all about the setup before the drop. So when you guys are producing, my biggest advice here is build the song backwards from the moment sometimes. So if you guys start building out the drops and the loops first, spend just as much time on the setup before the drop and figuring out how you're going to create those magical moments by stripping things back in the song. And again, this is one of the biggest tips that I could ever give in music production. And I think this is the X factor in a lot of the songs that get supported by big DJs. So this is something I coined myself, and I noticed that a lot of the big songs that are played out by big DJs and a lot of the successful songs out there, they all have this one thing in common. It's called the double hook. So the best way that I can define what the double hook is, it's a vocal hook in combination with a synth hook. So one thing I noticed that where producers fall short, they're usually focused on one or the other, not both. So when you guys are thinking about creating songs, I think if you want to create the strongest song and the strongest idea that's really going to stick in people's heads, you want to have 2 hook points. And so I'm going to give you guys a couple examples and references and play through them and show you guys where the different double hooks are. For the first example, I'm going to play one of my best performing songs. Some of you guys might know it. It's my collab with Knock 2. It's called What's the Move? A lot of big DJs played this one out. And in my opinion, this one worked because there's a double hook. And so for me, the double hook in this one is the pre-drop vocal into the bass hook. So I'm going to start it from the build up right here. So the double hook in this song is the pre-drop vocal immediately followed by the bass riff or synth hook. And if you notice, both of those have enough characteristics where people can remember both of those. So if the song's playing in a club and they hear move to the bass and move to the drum, they know exactly what song it is. And then they hear the synth hook and they know exactly what it is too. So the song is strengthened by having a really good vocal hook and a synth hook. Another thing too is the singability of this. So the vocal hook is memorable. You can sing that back out loud, right? The synth hook is also memorable as well too. Ba 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 ba. It has a riff you can hum. People can chant out loud too. So that's really important here. So in my opinion, this song did well because it has that double hook factor to it. Now for the next example of a double hook, I'm going to play for you guys Fisher Losing It. I'm sure a lot of you guys know this song and I don't have to play it, but I'm going to play it for you guys just so we can dissect it. So this one's pretty similar. You have a vocal hook and you have a synth line or a bass hook. The vocal hook was so memorable. People sing that. People remember it. It stuck out in people's heads. If this song, like imagine this song didn't have I'm Losing It and it had something that was just the same as a lot of other songs, like let's say it said 1, 2, 3, go or something like that. It would not have that double hook factor to it. So I'm Losing It is kind of a unique tagline, I think, and it really makes it memorable in people's heads. And then the drop hits and the bass line plays and it has that synth hook too. It has a really good riff and a really good rhythm to it. And you can sing that back as well too. Dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun, da, da, dun, dun. So in my opinion, the double hook in this song is what really made it successful. And again, to kind of recap the double hook concept, I want you guys to think about this as spending just as much time creating really catchy synth and bass hooks, but also spending enough time selecting a unique vocal sample. If you notice in both of these songs I played, Move to the Bass and Move to the Drum, that vocal, that wasn't a vocal that anybody else had access to. We wrote that with a really awesome dancehall artist called General Degree. So it was completely original. Can't find that vocal anywhere else. And we made sure we had a good vocal in it too. And then you'll notice in I'm Losing It too, it's not like he grabbed that out of some splice pack that everybody had access to. It was really unique. It really stuck in people's heads. So again, to recap, I want you guys to think about having the strongest vocal hook and the strongest synth and bass hook as well, and those working in tandem. And then you're basically increasing your odds of creating a memorable song because you have the double hook. So again, this is something that's super hard to teach, but I've really found that songs that have the double hook are really cut through the noise, really memorable, and get played out by more big DJs. So now that we've talked about two of what I think are some of the most important foundational production theories on the artistic side, let's shift gears now to marketing the music. I know this is not the funnest part for a lot of DJs when it comes to marketing and promotion, but it absolutely has to be done. There's no way that a big DJ can find your song and play your song if you're not promoting it and marketing it. So first, I want to explain what social proof actually is and what it means. And to do that, I'm going to read you guys one of the most famous marketing books. It's called Influence by Robert Cialdini. I know you're like, Henry, what are you doing with this book? But trust me. Social proof is actually one of the most important parts about marketing something. It could be a product or service or anything, but in this case, music. And these are laws of psychology that stay true across all industries. This principle states that we determine what is correct by finding out what other people think is correct. Importantly, the principle applies to the way we decide what constitutes correct behavior. We view an action as correct in a given situation to the degree that we see others performing it. So, as you can see, humans naturally are looking to other humans to see what is correct. And everybody, including big DJs, are subject to the laws of psychology. So to explain how social proof fits into marketing music is, well, it's basically this. DJs look at other DJs to see what they're playing, and that's how a lot of songs get in other DJ sets. You know, you might hear a festival set from somebody, you might see a clip online, whatever it is. DJs are constantly looking to their peers for affirmation about what songs they should actually be playing. And this actually comes down to a deep foundational psychological theory and level, as I just explained. Now, to get even further about this and how it applies to marketing your music, getting the biggest DJs to support and play your records actually usually doesn't happen right away first. Sometimes it happens the other way. usually some of the smaller DJs start playing it first. Then that can cascade into the bigger DJs playing it. And so I'll give you guys a real life example. On my song Rave Tool, it's been one of my biggest club songs over the years. I released it in 2019. The first couple DJs to actually support the record and play the record out weren't the big A-list DJs. They were the smaller DJs that were my peers. So one of the first DJs to play the record out was actually Party Favor. He played it at, I think, Ultra or EDC. So my friend Party Favor played it. My friend 4B played it. My friend Say My Name played it. And then from there, they were rinsing the record out, and then bigger DJs started to get curious about the record. And then I remember one of the moments that Salvatore Ganacci played the record out at Tomorrowland. He was dancing to the record. He played it out. And then after Salvatore Ganacci played it out, then DJ Snake and Skrillex started playing the record out. So as you can see, it was kind of a bit of a chain reaction where another DJ had to hear another DJ play it first in order for them to maybe want it to incorporate in their sets. So how social proof applies here, it's basically like any type of win that you get on the record needs to go into your marketing plan, right? So even if a smaller DJ is playing it or one of your peers are playing it, put that on your story, make a post about it, whatever, let people know, because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get that cascading effect of social proof. And then eventually records can hit a point where a decent amount of DJs are playing the record, and then it just goes completely nuclear viral after a certain point. Just remember that every other DJ is still subject to these laws of psychology, right? And so in your marketing plan, you guys need to let people know who are playing the records out. What are some of the accolades of the record? You know, even if it's those small milestones, you need to celebrate it. We got 10,000 streams. So-and-so downloaded it on SoundCloud. So-and-so put it in a podcast. Whatever it is, continually highlight those. And I would be really ruthless about putting those little bits into your marketing plan, putting them in your social media. A good example too, I had a friend the other day that had a record that John Summit played out, and he hard posted it on Instagram, and it went completely viral. And now everybody's asking for the record because John Summit played it. So social proof is so important, and I kind of hope this section really helps you guys break down the understanding of that. Like on a simple level, you know, we know that DJs playing the records is good, but to understand, to like lift open the curtain and understand on a fundamental level, you know, how social proof actually works, I think it's super critical to the success of marketing your records. So to recap, my top 3 biggest tips to help increase the odds of DJs playing your songs. Number 1, the moment. Number 2, the double hook. Number 3, social proof. If you guys put all 3 of these foundational principles into effect when you're producing and marketing your music, I think you guys are going to have a lot better odds that you're going to get big DJs supporting your records. If you guys enjoyed content like this, I actually teach artists one-on-one together in my artist mentorship program, and you guys can check that link below. So thank you guys for tuning in, and see you on the next one.